This video is about oneness, what it is, and how you can start to tap into it and experience it for yourself. So once you are awake, you're permanently awake on the level of mind and the heart. You're in what I call unity consciousness, which is that you're perceiving that everything is one, everything is you. So you perceive oneness automatically. But it's a very specific thing that I'm talking about. And it is something that you can start to tap into if you just have a willingness to look. Reality is available for anyone that's willing to look for it, regardless of where you're at on the awakening path. So it's more than interconnectedness, although that forms a part of it. Interconnectedness, I'd say, is about the oneness that we can perceive on a physical level. There is certainly an interconnected web that is quite easy for us to notice. And even if we're very sort of scientifically minded, it's very apparent in the physical that there is this interconnected web going on. We just have to look at an ecosystem and how everything operates together as one. And each thing is reliant upon the other. The tree is reliant upon the sun. It's reliant upon the rain. Everything works together to help things to keep going, to keep evolving and growing and then dying and on it goes. So it's quite obvious to see this interconnectedness working environmentally. And then we can sort of take that a step deeper and say, well, can I see that I am also a part of that interconnected web? Am I willing to see that I'm not a human that's separate from the environment, separate from nature, that's in control of nature, or that gets things from nature, but I am actually a part of that. I come from the earth and I'll die back into the earth. So to see that helps us to get one step closer in understanding oneness, to see that on a physical, scientific level, everything is a connected web. So to see that is a good start. Then to go deeper from that is to see the emptiness or the formlessness of all things. And if you've had a spiritual experience where you've seen this directly, this will make complete sense to you when I say this. If you haven't yet experienced that, that's okay. It will come through doing certain practices, but just be open to experiencing it directly yourself. So I can tell you about the formlessness of all of this apparent matter that is here, all of this interconnected web that I just spoke about, the nature that has come into form, that it's made of emptiness. But the awakening path is about experiencing it for yourself. So it's about having a willingness to look. Am I willing to see that this beautiful interconnected web is actually formless? So it is both in form and also made of emptiness. Am I willing to look and see that truth for myself? And so you can go and watch a tree and meditate and try to be free from the mind and look at the tree directly and just see for yourself what is true, see the emptiness of form for yourself. Some people like to use drugs to do this, or there's different techniques that you can do to try and bring this on. But to simply just be with nature and spend time out there, it will reveal itself to you because it's already doing it. It's already empty of form. So it's just a matter of, do you want to see it? Do you want to see the truth? So the next step after seeing the interconnectedness of everything is to see the emptiness of everything. Once you've seen the emptiness be revealed to you in nature through extended meditating or however you've had that glimpse or seen that, had that realization that all of this is in form and is made of this weird nothingness, this weird, very specific emptiness that's not nothing. It's certainly something. In fact, it's everything. And then everywhere I look, the tree seems to be made of that same stuff that bird is made of. There's no difference between what it's made of. And so we start to see the bird and the tree are made of the same stuff. The sun is made of the same stuff. The dirt and we start to see it everywhere. And so this is the next step. And then if we want to go deeper from that, then what's typically harder is to see that people are made of that same stuff, that the same emptiness that everything is made of, which is us. So then we can start to look at people. And so I would suggest just watching people that you don't know as you go about your day. If you go for a walk, see if you can notice that same emptiness, that same very specific, divine, strange nothingness that nature is made up of, the people are also made up of that. Are you willing to see that? And then you can challenge yourself to see, well, am I also made up of that too? If all of that is made up of emptiness, perhaps I am too. Am I willing to see that? That's the next level of difficulty. And again, it might just be a glimpse. It could scare you to see that, but know that you're safe. Nothing bad is happening. You're just seeing the truth of what's already true. Nothing is changing. And so we see all of the nature is made of this bizarre emptiness. So are the people. So am I. And then it's like, well, everything is made of it. Everywhere I look, is there anything I can see that's not made up of this bizarre emptiness? And we start to see all form, everything, absolutely everything, even inanimate objects are made up of this same bizarre, we could almost call it, it's hard to put words to it, but it's almost like an energy field. And so if you think on the level of the physical, and so awakening reveals that reality is a paradox. So there's not one truth, that there's overlapping truths that contradict each other. So we are form, we are this beautiful planet and all the beings on it. And that can be scientifically shown to be in form. And that's the interconnected web that we started with. Then on another level, we are all, this web, this interconnected web is empty of form. And you could think of it like an energy field that's coming into different forms and going out of forms, appearing as all different types of things. And we could call that pure awareness. We could think of it as an energy field. And both is true. We're both all form, everything in form, and also this more energetic field. And so we're basically allowing ourselves to see, can we see both? Can we see the form? And then also, if we go deeper, the truth behind it, that there's also, everything is made up of this sort of emptiness, this weird nothingness. So if we're able to perceive that everything is made of emptiness, including ourselves, we're definitely getting very close to understanding oneness. What we're understanding is that everything is made of the same stuff. It's appearing as different things. It's coming into different forms, but ultimately it's all made of what we could call emptiness, but it's just a word to try and describe something that you need to experience for yourself to understand. Otherwise, it just seems very abstract. But we get to see that this is what everything is made up of. And not just that, but it's divine in nature. So we could say it's God just as a label, but we could just say it is divinity itself. It is all of creation. And so it has this divine, sacred quality to it that we can tap into. And on top of that, that's who we are. So if we're doing self-inquiry and we're trying to uncover the answer to that question, who we are, that is what the experience of who we are is, that energetic web that everything is made up of. That is who we are. And it is divine. It is empty of form, but it is also all form. It is absolutely everything. So to understand oneness is to really understand that there is only one. And this one is who we are. Now, to talk about it is hard. We could call it God. We could call it awareness. Doesn't really matter what we label it. It's not really accurate. They're all just pointers. We have to experience it directly to understand it. But there is only us. There's one, there is us, and everything is made of us. So when you're in unity consciousness, how you perceive things is that that's me, that's me, that's me. There I am as a water bottle. There I am as the sun. There I am as a flower. There I am as a baby. There I am as an old man. There I am, there I am, there I am. It's oneness because you're perceiving yourself everywhere. And it's not the me as the separate self. There I am, the separate self. No, that's not it. It is that your divine essence, awareness, you're seeing that is everything. You're like, it is everywhere. It is everything. The ground is made up of it. The air is made up of it. Absolutely every object is made up of it. And so that is to perceive oneness, is to see the emptiness of everything and to see that that emptiness is everything and that it's also divine. It's God, it is creation, it is all of creation. So that's to get you a lot deeper into understanding what oneness is, to start to really challenge yourself once you see that you're empty of form and everything else is made of that same stuff, whatever that is. That's getting you a lot closer. But then we're certainly challenged on this path by seeing, well, what about the things that you don't like? What about the people that repel you, that you really find disgusting? Certain groups of people, a specific person, perhaps a politician, perhaps someone like Hitler, right? Is there one or a group of people that it's quite hard for you to see that is you, that is also you? And so this is where we're more challenged with this work. And so I've taken you on a journey in this video of getting more and more challenging. And so it's up to you how far you want to go in this process. So it's like the next more challenging practice is to see that you are the difficult people. Can you see that? Not as a concept, but can you feel it? Can you see that same emptiness in them that is also you? So try it with difficult people, perhaps your parents. Maybe you had difficult parents. Can you see that they're also you? They're also God. They're also emptiness. Can you see it for yourself? Can you actually see it? Are you willing to see it? What about difficult politicians? What about difficult people from humanity? What about terrorists? What about pedophiles? What about groups of people that people find disgusting or violent or whatever it is? Can you see that you're that? Can you see that you're absolutely everything? Because that's where this is heading. To be in unity, you see absolutely everything. It doesn't matter how terrible the person is or what they've done. You are every behavior, you are every thought, you are every action, you are every person, you're every war, every terrible, terrible thing, you're that. And every beautiful thing, you're that. So this is not about judgment of what's good and bad. All of that drops away, and that's not what this talk is about. To perceive oneness, it's just to see I am also that. I am that, I am that, I am that. And so the catchphrase of unity, we could say, is I am that. And so you can use that as a practice wherever you're at on the awakening path to question and see for yourself, where am I still perceiving that I'm not that? So start with the easy things. Can I see that I'm the flower? Am I that? Am I that cute little flower? And what about that car? Am I that car? And what about that cute old lady? Am I that? Am I that? Am I that? And you get harder and harder and you see what you've got left to work on. What are the areas that you just can't face that you are that? You will get there if you keep going. You will see you are also that. I'd love it if you could write a comment and let me know what some of the harder things to face that are you, whatever that may be, whether it's parents or difficult people. can be really helpful for other people to see the areas that they can start to look into to help them to progress with this heart awakening, to help you to access unity consciousness. These are the areas that you'll need to work on to see that you are also that, because you are everything.